What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets. Hope everybody had an excellent weekend. The weather in New Jersey's been 70s and sunny, which is awesome. In terms of Jets news, there hasn't really been a lot for a variety of reasons. Obviously, there's some much less fanfare this offseason as opposed to years past with Aaron Rodgers and Super Bowl or bust hype and chasing all these big-name players. Seems like pretty much the Giants getting a lot of attention for Jackson Dart and Abdul Carter. You have the Knicks with a great playoff run, the Yankees and Mets. So the Jets are kind of laying low, which is fine with me. Had the blue-collar mindset, actions, not words. And with, rookie camp here, I was curious to see what the reaction was to not the action on the field, more to the reaction of the coaching staff. Like, what did the media think of them? And more importantly, what were the players saying about this coaching staff? What we've heard from Aaron Glenn has been a lot of tough talk and that, that kind of like that disciplined mindset and feisty. But how would it resonate with his players? Would it be, respected? Would it be welcomed? And some of the quotes coming out of camp you've got to be encouraged by it. There's a good portion of this fan base that thinks he's solid 2.0. But I think early on, and I understand it's only May, early on, it seems like there's some legitimate differences that hopefully pays off as this team progresses going forward. Now, the one thing you could say is Aaron Glenn has his fingerprints all over this roster, which is fine. You want to be all in. But then it's like, how does it play out in practice? And the first thing you saw is when you have a defensive coordinator like Steve Wilks, an experienced, respected defensive coordinator, you can give that side of the ball to him and say, okay, listen, today's your day to be with them. I'm going to be with the offense. And there are reports that Aaron Glenn was literally in the offensive huddles, being very hands-on and talking to all the position groups, which to me is awesome. You could say you're a CEO-type head coach, but if you sit on the sideline with your arms crossed and just watch everybody, that's great. But if you have that more hands-on approach with this young team saying, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want you to do. There is no gray area. That's how you hold the guys accountable. This is what I wanted you to do. You didn't do it. You're not going to play. And I think that's something that as you go into mandatory minicamp and OTAs, I'm curious to see how the other players like it. You saw comments by Jeremy Ruckert. He loves being coached hard. He loves that accountability. He loves when they demand more where he plays harder. Malachi Moore, who came from a great university, said he likes his coaching staff, how they're demanding, but it's demanding to learn. Like, they're teaching technique. They're vocal about their teaching. They're not demeaning you. They're just passionate about what they want you to do and how they want you to do it. And that's exactly what you want. And, I'm an older fan. Like, I've had the ability, when Bill Parcells was the Jets head coach, I went to so many of their practices, 2 or 3 days a week. I've been to, Todd Bowles' practice, Adam Gase's, Sal. I've been to pretty much every coach over the last God knows how long. I've had a chance to go to practice and watch it. And the one thing I always noticed about Parcells, and I'm not going to say Aaron Glenn is him, he would literally walk the entire practice and have something to say in every position group to at least one player. He'd watch the linebackers, they make a mistake. Hey, hold on, stop. Stop the practice, do it again. Like, half-ass wasn't acceptable. Doing it wrong was acceptable, and he'd stop and make you do it again. Like, there was highlights with Dedrick Ward not catching punts. He'd stop it. I literally watched him stop Curtis Martin 3 or 4 times in the same practice. Run this route again. Change this. When Testaverde would have an incomplete pass to Corbett, he'd stop him. What happened here? He would be all over Keyshawn Johnson. There was no stone left unturned. He was all over this team where they knew, we can't half-ass a practice because he's always watching us. Like, if you know you can get away with certain things, if it's kind of like a lax atmosphere or more like player-friendly atmosphere, you know where you can cut corners and get away with things. And when you know you can't, you won't. If you know you're not going to, if you don't watch film, you're not going to play. If you don't do this, you're not going to play. If you keep making mistakes, you have to earn your spot in the roster, earn your playing time, where while contract status is important, it's about you got to show us what you can do to get your time on Sundays. And that's something that I really hope that Aaron Glenn is bringing to the table for this team, because you look at the last couple of years of this organization where they were just, I keep saying, a rudderless ship where they looked like they had no direction. The coaching was very poor. So if you bring in a staff that's holding everybody accountable and is putting a priority on technique, we're going to make you fundamentally sound. We're going to make sure you know exactly what's going on here so we can get the best out of you and the best results on Sundays. I think it's going to pay big dividends, man. I genuinely do. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win 12 games this year. I'm thinking if you see a fundamentally sound team that plays physical, and just no turnovers, good special teams, they can be competitive week in and week out and be a team that you're proud of. So early on, I'm encouraged by this. I can't wait to see what the veterans players say about him. Like, right now, you've heard from the rookies. You've heard from Ruckert. You've heard a lot of good things about Justin Fields and his work ethic and his, his diligence in terms of film study and preparation. But it's early. You got a lot to go here. You got to get live practice with pads on. But so far, so good for me, man. Talk to you guys later.